So you want to know the real cost of living in Acworth, Georgia? Then this is the video for you. Make sure you stay to the very end. That way you don't miss the most important tip. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Living in Georgia on YouTube. My name's Eric Berry with Fathom Realty. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and make sure that notification bell's on. That way you never miss an upload. Now, if you found my channel, that means you must be looking to make a move in Georgia or move to Georgia. And as much as I love making these videos, I'd love to help you out with your real estate needs. So go ahead and call me, email me, text me, whatever it is. I got you covered when making that move in Georgia. So hey, let's get on with this video. So in today's cost of living in Acworth video, we're going to start off by talking about the overall cost. Overall, Acworth is about 5% higher than the rest of the nation for cost of living. Now, compared to the rest of the cities in Georgia, it's about 10% higher than the rest of the cities in Georgia. So it is going to be a bit more expensive than the other areas in Georgia to live in. Now let's look at home costs. Housing is going to be the most important thing when you're looking at where to move. This right here will give you a great insight on what you're going to be looking at when you're looking at your housing cost here in Acworth. Now, housing cost in Acworth, Georgia is going to be higher than the rest of the state of Georgia, but it's still going to be a little bit lower than the rest of the nation. Median home cost in Acworth is about $227,000 compared to the nation's $231,000, but still higher than Georgia's $186,000 overall. Now, one important piece of information to look at when you're looking at homes here in Georgia, or Acworth in general, is going to be your real estate property tax. Real estate property tax in Georgia is on the lower end compared to a lot of the other areas, but it does vary from county to county. And Cobb County does have one of the lowest tax rates in the state of Georgia. The effective property tax rate in Cobb County is about 0.72%, well below the state average of 0.87%, compared to the national average of 1.07%. So essentially, a home in Acworth, Georgia that was valued about $300,000 would have a tax rate of about $2,100 overall. Now, I know I said the median home cost in Acworth, Georgia is $227,000, but the pricing of the homes do vary quite substantially. There are homes down in the low hundreds, and there are homes that do go over $1 million, so there is going to be something for everybody's budget here in Acworth, Georgia, and that's something that we could actually talk on and discuss to kind of figure out what areas are going to be the best fit for you and where you're ultimately looking to live at. So every area does have something different to offer. Now, something that does go along with owning a home is going to be the utility cost. Now, based on my research, utility costs in Acworth, Georgia are about 8% higher than the nation's average, and about 5% higher than the rest of the state of Georgia. Now, power is handled by the City of Acworth's Power Department, water is handled by the Cobb County Water System, and gas, lucky enough, you can shop around on gas. Gas prices don't have to be pulled from one single provider. You can go and check all the different rates of all the gas providers in the city of Acworth, and you can go ahead and pick one that's going to work out best to fit your needs. So most of the utilities do have billing programs that actually help you out, average out your cost of your bills to kind of keep you from spending way too much on certain months where the peak times are bigger for the, so say like winter time where your gas bill goes up because you're using more heat, or summertime where your AC bill goes up because you use more electricity. They do have programs to help you manage that to where you can pay more of an average cost over the prior year of what your expected usage is. So that's definitely something to look at. You know, I got lucky here with my house that we bought recently. The electric company and the water company took a look at the prior snapshot, which was a smaller family than my family, and so I got to pay the cheaper bills for about the first year, which worked out great, but now I've had to pay the higher ones from the higher average this year. Now, gas costs, I'll give you a little insight on that. Make sure you shop around and get your best rates, and make sure that when that rate change comes up, you follow up on it. Otherwise, you can get hit like I did with some high bills for a couple months without actually realizing it. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, in the bottom in the descriptions, I'm going to go ahead and throw up some of the information here as far as your contact information for your water, your gas, and your power. That way you have some easy contact information for when you do decide to make that move. You can come right back to this video, look in the description, highlight them, bookmark them, whatever it is. That way you got some easy, quick access to it. Now, cable and internet, you can shop around on those too. You got Comcast, AT&T, Google Fiber is starting to pop up in some of the areas. You know, for my household, you know, family of 5, we're averaging out about $250 a month here on our cable bill, which includes cable TV and our internet. and we are on the more elevated package, so expect probably $200 to $300 if you are doing the internet, cable TV. And overall, I'll give you a little bit of insight. My family of 5, our gas bill, I'd say, is a little bit on the higher end for most normal gas bills, and we on average spend about $150 a month. That right there is probably going to be a little more excessive. There are a lot of baths and hot showers taken in this household, so it'll probably be less if you're coming in less than the household of 5. Water bill itself, we're on average about $75 to $100 a month. Depends on what time of season, if we're running the sprinklers outside. So like I said, family of 5, if you got less than that, you'll probably be a little bit less. In electricity, we're about $180 a month on our household, and we've always got something running. So overall, I'm less than $500 a month here for my gas, electric, and water. So there right there's a family of 5. If you got something smaller, you'll be a lot cheaper for you. Cable and internet costs from me, I'm using Comcast, which is one of the most common ones around the area. Like I said, I'm just outside of Acworth and Kennesaw, but they still run the same providers over in that area. Cable, internet, security, all that run through it. I'm about $250 a month here with Comcast. So overall, you might be able to get a little bit less than that. Some people do choose to stream a lot more than get the cable service. I've got it all. We got cable TV and stream about 5 different services, so there's always something for me to watch. Now let's talk transportation cost, because when you are living in Acworth, you are not living close to the city, and you will have to drive everywhere. So that right there is obviously going to ramp up your transportation costs with the need for a car, the need to Uber or ride share. More miles on your vehicle, that's more wear and tear. So obviously your transportation costs are going to go up if you're living in Acworth. Now compared to the rest of the nation, cost of your transportation costs are about 25% higher in Acworth compared to the rest of the nation. If you look at the rest of the state of Georgia, it's only about 20% higher than the rest of the state of Georgia. So overall, like I said, you are going to need a car, you are going to have to drive. So you will need all those costs that are incurred with owning a vehicle and driving around the area. Like I've said in videos before, gas prices are a bit more reasonable here in the state of Georgia. AAA does rank Georgia as far as one of the cheapest places to get gas, so we are on the better side with gas if you are living here in Georgia. So Acworth, like I said, you're going to get a little bit cheaper on the gas prices than Acworth. If you're looking at mass transit, Acworth does have one Cobb Link station that's over near downtown Acworth, so that right there, you can do some transportation into Atlanta through MARTA, but you will need to ride the Cobb Link to take you closer into town. That way you can get to MARTA, but we have one station here, and that's it in Acworth. So, like I said, you can do some of your mass transit, but you won't have too much cost in that. Most of it will be from you driving. Now, grocery costs in Acworth. Grocery costs are a little bit cheaper here by about 3% here compared to the rest of the nation, but still about 2% higher than the rest of the state of Georgia. So grocery costs in Acworth, Georgia, it's going to be a little more subjective. Like I said, I'm down the street in Kennesaw. Pricing isn't much of a difference between the two areas. My average grocery bill when we go to the grocery every week is about $250 to $350. Just depends on what's on sale, whether or not I get a bunch of meats. Overall, you know, smaller families will spend a lot less here with it. Now, healthcare in Acworth, it is about 9% lower than the nation and about 4% lower than the rest of the state of Georgia. Now, we do have the Wellstar Health System in Acworth, and that is the largest health system in the state of Georgia. So we do have plenty of coverage. You know, when you look at the healthcare costs, it's going to be average night stays in the hospital if you have to go to the hospital, or the emergency room costs, your physician cares. A lot of that is going to be lower if you are living in this area. So like I said, Acworth's health costs are slightly less than the rest of the nation's. Now let's look at the miscellaneous category of spending. That right there's like going out to eat, going to bars, shopping, extracurricular activities, normal events and stuff. That's where going to be these costs come into. Now the miscellaneous costs are about 3% higher than the rest of the nation, and they're about 8% higher than the rest of the state of Georgia. So it is going to be so it will cost you a little bit more as far as your miscellaneous costs, going out to eat, shopping, entertainment, home repairs. All that will be slightly more expensive in Acworth compared to the rest of the state and the rest of the nation. Overall, going out to eat for dining, you'll probably average about $20 per person, and that's without a tip. So family of 4, you're easily gonna get close to that $80 to $100 mark here in Acworth. Lots of great restaurants. Catch one of my other videos, I talked a lot about it. But overall, you are gonna spend a bit more money here when going out to eat dining in Acworth compared to everywhere else. Now, another big one for me, daycare. Daycare costs are an important factor when you're looking for where to move. Acworth's daycare cost on average runs about $1,079 a month. Now, I'm right down the street in Kennesaw, so I do know I spend about $275 a month on average for daycare for my 2-year-old. So if you are in Acworth, there's tons of places to go to. You will be anywhere from like $150 to $350, just depending on what type of daycare you go to and take your kids to. But you will average out close to about $1,100 a month on daycare cost. Now we'll go ahead and link that data down below in the description from Care Lulu, which does give you some more insight on the daycares in the area, and that way you can kind of get more of an idea of what you're really looking at when you're looking to make that move into Acworth. Based on Care Lulu's data, there's about 31 daycares in the city of Acworth, so you got plenty of options to choose from. But like I said, you will need to take a look at the map and figure out where each one is, because Acworth is a pretty big place. You can go from one side to the other in about 30 minutes, so it could take you some time if you're not looking at that right spot. Now let's compare Acworth, Georgia over to some other cities, some of the popular cities that show up in the searches. I'm going to go and link them up in the screen, that way you can see them. But overall, Acworth, Georgia is cheaper to live in than most of these other larger cities. San Francisco, California is about 86% higher than living in Acworth. Washington, D.C. is about 56% higher. Miami, Florida, almost 12%. Chicago, 15%. Boston's 51%. New York's about 81%. Now, once again, Dallas, Texas beat us out by about 3% on the cost of living between the two cities. So overall, Acworth, Georgia is going to be a lot cheaper than a lot of your other major cities to live in. Like I said, Texas does beat us out again here, just like they did in the Marietta video. But overall, Acworth is a great place to live. Cost of living isn't bad. I grew up in Acworth, and it's still a great place to live. Not too expensive. Plenty of different areas to move to kind of fit your needs as far as cost goes. So once again, everybody, I hope this video did help you out understanding the cost of living in Acworth a bit more. If you have any questions, comments, throw them down below. If this video helped you out, like it, share it, let everybody else know. And once again, I'd love to help you with your real estate needs. Let me know if I can help you in any way. See you on the next one.